Hey, welcome back to a BBQ Life TV. This is Greg Hassey, American Fire Barbecue, and I got Brianna Vi from Smoking Magic Barbecue. It's Brianna Vi, isn't it? Did I get it wrong again?
Just say Brie.
It's just Brie, apparently. Sorry.
Just go with Brie.
I get that wrong all the time.
It is Brianna.
It's Brianna. I say Brianna. It's
Brianna.
yeah.
So
Brianna.
I used to tell people, so cheese is my favorite food.
Yeah.
And so I
Brie
said
the
it's
cheese.
like Brie cheese, Brie on a cracker.
Yeah.
So Brianna. So if you can't remember, it's like Brianna.
Now, if we're in the next to Kansas, is Bree got to pee, and then she goes. So then we remember her name. So
I'm like texting Jamie. I'm like, I really gotta go.
hey, back to the intro here. We are in Miami.
Miami.
Oklahoma, at is it Smoking on Route 66? Is that what it is?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I saw that on the
It's Friday night in MiaMA, Oklahoma. A couple hours
Smoking on the route.
Smoking on the route. That's what it is. Smoking on the route. We're in a couple hours from Kansas City, and we're down here meeting with some lovely folks this weekend doing our podcast. We hope you're watching. We hope you're enjoying. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. But who we got today is some people really special. They're fun to be around. We see them a couple times a year, not too awful much, but we've got Machete Boys BBQ. That's David Ellis of Machete Boys. You're out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, and we got
Kristen Spain out of Machete Boys out of Minneapolis.
And Christine Connor, Machete Boys, out of Minneapolis.
Yeah, just friends, all good friends.
Just friends.
Machete Boys.
No
Machete
mothers,
Boys. How
no
you guys doing today?
It's hot down here.
It's hot down here.
It's hot down here.
It ain't Minnesota, baby. I can tell you that right now.
Well, it's hot in Minnesota, but it's double gold bond day today. Let me tell you. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
When did you guys get in?
Just about an hour ago or so.
Did you?
Yeah, we
Did
drove
you?
through to KC last night and then pressed on this morning.
Did?
Hooked up with Bushmaster and drove on down.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kristen, and he was up in Kansas City this week working wedding.
Yeah, he's got my pork butts. You got my pork butts for a couple weeks from now, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, I think actually Mike has them now. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mike did get you some. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. He bought a bunch. He met me out. Pork's been a problem. Getting pork's been a problem. It's kind of one of those things. So
yeah,
we're glad to have you here, and we're gonna have some fun today. We're just talking barbecue as best we can and having some fun. And I don't know if I have a lot of questions, but we'll start with a couple that we always start with. What do you do? Everyday job? What are you, or work or whatever?
So I kind of do a lot right now. I've got my YouTube channel going, Machete Boys BBQ. Obviously, keeping up on social media, which feels like a full-time job.
Yes, it is.
We get out to I think this is number 11 for us this year. So that's 11 weekends of this, and then I've got a 7-year-old that's in soccer, and then my day job when I don't have those things going on is I'm a consultant, a computer consultant. So I work out building clouds for applications and such. So
really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Busy man.
Can you do that from home, or do you have to go in?
No, I can do it remotely, which makes it perfect for this gig, right? So
Awesome.
Lots of times I try and get out on a Thursday to a competition, so that way I can work Friday from the trailer.
Right.
And then by 3 o'clock when I'm getting ready to inject and stuff, the work's wrapping up and it all works out, so I don't have to burn too many personal days. So I can use that for family stuff and
Wonderful.
How's your season been going? How you
Horrible,
feel?
man.
Horrible?
Absolutely horrible.
Terrible?
Yeah. I mean, we started. These two are going to disagree, but I always, yeah. I guess I'm not so much of an optimist, but we started off pretty good. You know, we cracked off 3 top 5s there right away, and then it's been cold, man. They just been real cold towards us. Like, we were just talking to Chris from Bushmaster yesterday, and it feels like something has changed from a flavor perspective, or like if they were looking for more heat, more salt, but we don't have it right now.
And we don't know what it is either. Can't figure it out. We ain't getting a lot of hints about it. I can tell you that.
I wish that they would have like a judge would just come sit with you for 5 minutes after a contest and just you could just break it down with them, and they could tell you from a one-on-one perspective what they like or what they're seeing, but that's not an option right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to understand how things have changed, because I think they have. I think they've completely flipped script.
Yeah.
There are some people out there that, and I probably tend to agree with them, say that we're back. Judging isn't off. It feels like it, and it feels like it bad, right? But judging isn't off. It's actually kind of maybe back to where it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And I think COVID switched up so many things. A whole different set of judges. We had a bunch of judges age out, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
When COVID got so bad, and then now we got new judges that maybe expect more dynamic flavors than we were giving them before.
Yeah.
And we did that, right?
Yeah.
2020, 2021, we did that.
Yeah.
22, maybe a little bit. But then it just seemed like last year and this year, what we were doing then is not working now.
So it's not just us then.
No, it's all over the place, and there's a lot of confusion. And we're blaming tables, we're blaming all kinds of things, and they do. There honestly is some tables out there that just look god awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, holy cow, how did these 6 randomly bad judges could not hit a table in a worse way?
So,
but it's just weird.
Greg, I'm going to be honest with you. There is a little bit of that goes on in our community, right? But as a cook and a guy that wants to get better at this, I like to look inward first and see what I could have done better,
Absolutely.
right? Because
100%.
I could play that blame game all day, but that's not going to do any good to make us do any better,
Nope.
right? So
Nope.
we're taking reps at home and doing what we can to try and figure out, what they actually are tasting and what might be missing and what our options are to get it back on track. So, but yeah, that's just how it
I
works.
agree, and it's always been this way. It's a law of averages, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out and cook. If you're only cooking once every 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're missing the averages, right? You're missing the highs and the lows. You're maybe just unluckily hitting the lows or hitting the highs, and you just it gets you upside down for sure. Thank
Well,
you,
I'm
Brad.
hoping that this weekend turns it all around. For
Cue
us,
in the fluffer bringing us beer. We're doing good.
Kind of
Be
like that.
nice. Well, ask the ladies.
Well, what? No, ladies,
thing,
how do you
like,
feel about how it's going? David said you guys might disagree, so.
I think we always disagree with him, whether we really do or not. We just like to say that. I think the way he described it was pretty much what we saw. Like, we felt like the first part of the season, and then it's really cooled off. And I don't know, one thing we were thinking about, or I was wondering about the other day, is do you guys think the seasons make a difference, like the amount of heat?
Well, it can for sure, right? It can for sure. I think early on, I tend to do better early on. And then we get to the summer, we're always like, give them salt, right? Just kind of, it's cold, it's hot, and they maybe want that. I don't know. I haven't kind of seen it play that way, but.
According to our comment cards last week, they did not want the salt.
That was was so weird, right? I mean, we were in Osceola. It never
sorry,
happened
2
in my
weeks ago
life,
for us.
Yeah, Butler. Same judges probably, but we were in Osceola, and God, first time ever, first day one, we got 7 or 8. It was 7 or 8 comment cards.
Really?
Some, that I think were constructive. Others were not.
Yeah. Did any of them say your food tasted like chocolate or sweet potatoes?
That comment came from there for sure.
From the same table?
From the same contest.
I know it was the same contest,
Yeah.
but that'd be interesting. The same table.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same. So there was tough chicken, tough skin was one that I think I heard at least 7 different teams said they got.
Yeah.
And I know mine wasn't, and I got it twice. So I don't know what. I think it's just a judge that, I'm not bashing on him, but it's just a judge that wants to write something every single time.
In their backyard, so they know how
yeah.
to judge appropriately, right? So,
Well, or did they judge it as being tough because it wasn't bite through, which they technically aren't supposed to judge on?
well,
I mean,
so
that doesn't mean
have you
it's
taken
tough.
the J Cup yet? We actually listened to it
Yeah.
on the way down here because I was
Yeah.
like, maybe there's a set of
I
rules
took it
or
last
some,
year, or
yeah,
as soon as it came out. Yeah.
some things that are in there. But you're right. They're supposed to, if it doesn't come off or if it doesn't bite through, they're still supposed to taste it independently,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wish that more judges would go through that because I think there's some insightful stuff in there.
I
But
think the J Cup is extremely valuable.
did you find it contradictory at points too, though? And kind of like
Depends on what you've been taught. Or do you mean contradictory within
like
itself?
just within itself, right? So like when we were listening to it, like it was like for chicken instance, if you put wings and thighs in a box, they only have to taste one of those samples, right?
Right.
If you in pork though, the message was they suggest that you try everything that was in the box,
Yes,
right? So
yeah.
like in brisket, it was back
Same.
to you only have to try the point or the flat, right? So I didn't like that inconsistency, right? And then what was the other thing?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't-
know what? I guess I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
because
took
they
it,
said
but I
you
guess
could
I
put
didn't
in
catch
3
that.
wings
Yeah.
and 3 thighs or legs or whatever,
Yeah.
and that was it. Well, but that only what if I didn't want a wing and
Yeah.
that's what I end up getting?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Well, if there's not 6 independent ones, yeah, you may get left with something you didn't want.
Yeah.
But as a cook, that's your responsibility.
It is.
To not leave that decision
To the judges.
to a judge to
Yeah.
have to make that bad choice, right?
But 6 of
It's-
each.
But
Yeah.
6 of
If you're
each.
gonna do it.
It's that simple.
But that's the point that I'm making is if I as a cook, I'm probably going to put 6 of each if I have
Yeah.
2 samples in there to give people an option. But if they only have to try both samples on the pork, why don't they have to do it for everything?
I agree. I guess I didn't catch that when I
Yeah.
took it.
I mean, maybe I listened to it wrong. Did I catch that wrong, ladies? They were listening to it too.
No, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Basically, the way I understood it was if the cook has taken the time to put those extra pieces in there, then they're wanting you to try them, and that you should take them. But I've been at multiple tables judging where people at the table are looking at me and asking, do we take one of each of these? What are all of these? And I'm like, yeah, take one of each. That's probably what they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about what you're eating. It's pork after.
Well, and some people say, Judge, we hear this before. I mean, this goes along with judges say they hate blues hog. We haven't heard that in a while, but they say they hate blues hog, but then try not to turn it in and then
Right.
see what happens, right? So, which was something we did years ago. But then there's, we hear that they're tired. Some of the judges we talk to, we hear they're tired of all the pork choices. So now it's real simple. You give simple pork boxes, and you don't have to give them 3 pieces of pork to eat because they don't want to try 3 pieces of pork. And
hadn't
I've
heard
been
that yet,
hearing that complaint. So
Really?
I hear
And then
that
I've
a
also
little
heard
bit.
the opposite of that they are tired of seeing straight money muscle boxes.
Well,
So what
I
I'm
100%
hearing
agree.
is everybody's confused,
Yeah.
from the judges to the cooks.
So what do you think? Let's talk about pork. I'm gonna Brent. You like pork?
I like pork, and traditionally I would
Oh,
say
shit.
pork
I
is
thought
our.
I thought we were going to get into a
pork-
pork haters club. I fucking hate pork. I really do. It makes me sick when I eat it. I wanted a pork haters club
Yeah.
here somewhere.
But I think we've traditionally we've done really well with pork, and that's usually one of the higher scoring entries at a contest.
Oh no,
Ridiculous.
I've done well.
Yeah. You just hate to eat it?
I'm sick
Competition
and tired of it.
pork.
It's just,
I'll eat carnitas all
I
day
literally,
long.
by the time I get the pork in the trailer, I'm chewing it, I'm spitting it out,
Yeah.
and it happened to me once. Was it it was either the last year or the year before last when I cooked quite a bit more.
Yeah.
I literally was puking in a trash can.
Ooh,
And I
wow.
wasn't sick from it. I was just, it was it was a
meat
gag
sweats.
reflex. It was like, I can't even stand this.
Well, what
this
are you
is
putting on
disgusting.
it that is making
I
you
don't
gag?
know. The judges liked that. I was 14th in the world. I have no idea what I was doing. I know I couldn't stand it. It was disgusting. So,
Can I have that recipe?
yeah, you should. You 100% should.
Write that down. If we're not gagging, we're not doing it right.
We're not gagging. We're not doing it. So that would bring me to a question. I mean, we're way past the whole pork rule thing, right?
Yeah.
The weigh-in pork rule is pork butt, but it's really, I'll give you my opinion. And that I didn't think I was going to feel this way. I didn't really care about the old pork rule change when it was coming and the weights and all that. And I debone butts, but I always cooked a butt well over 6-7 pounds. I wasn't chopping them down to 4 pounds. And I would even use CTs that were over 4 pounds.
Yeah.
But here's what I fear, and this is what I think. And it's just me not cooking a bunch, sitting out looking at it, and I'm seeing what people are doing, and I know what people are buying,
Yeah.
and it makes me kind of sick. It's become a money muscle contest, and
It
that's
has.
it. And that I'm not some purist, some traditional, but I think maybe I am, because now I come back to it, and now we just got cooks. No offense to any of them. They're bringing 6 money muscles. They cook 6 money muscles. They chop them up different ways, smash them, and I'm like, so it's a money muscle contest. It's no longer a pork butt contest. It's a money muscle contest. It's one cut of meat. We're not really learning to be competition pit masters by cooking the whole butt and having different muscles. And I think once I've been to Memphis in May and kind of seen what the NBN network does, I mean, you turn in pork loin, and when you do a butt, you do a shoulder, you got to turn in 3 pieces. But you do a whole hog, you're turning in a ham, and granted, that's a whole hog. Right? It's not a apples to apples. But I just start looking at it going, man, that's a money muscle deal. And anybody can cook 9 money muscles and turn in 6 pieces and some chunks and make it look, make it
look
good.
right?
So now, like you said, before you said judges saying they're sick of just tired of nothing but money muscles. So now they don't see anything but slices. I don't know who we're fooling by chunking money muscle and making it look like squares.
You're fooling 6 judges inside a table.
Exactly. So it just kind of.
But we cook just straight up money muscle.
I know.
And
I'm not criticizing anyone
no,
that
I'm
does
just saying
it.
that's what
I
we'll
reject
turn
it.
in. But the biggest thing I like about it is that we don't have the waste that we had. We don't eat leftover barbecue. We would always give it away to the neighbors or first responders in the area or whatever, whoever was there.
Yeah.
So, but it's so nice to, pork turn in after it's done. We hardly have anything left.
So what do you do with it? What do you do with what you trim off the butt?
We'll do that for we'll do pulled pork for catering or.
So you save it. You don't.
Save it. Yeah.
But I mean, you have a way to get rid of it, right? So
Yeah.
our program, I agree with you, Greg. I think they have oversimplified it, and they're not really challenging cooks anymore.
Nope.
We cook three money muscles, and then I still cook a full butt because I still think I want to have pulled in that box because I have a problem just putting money muscles in there, right?
Yep.
And I think it's probably going to get to the point where it's kind of like with burnt ends now, where judges don't know how to judge pulled anymore.
Yep.
If we keep going the way that we're going,
I believe
right now.
it's happening.
Yeah. And
I believe it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
Because I've turned in some boxes I know that would score any day of the week.
Yeah.
Right? Just old school bacon tube boxes with 6 great or 7 great slices of money muscle.
Yeah.
The perfect old box, the basted box from years gone back that it was always a solid, simple box.
Yeah.
And I'm getting castrated, and I think it's the pulled. Problem is, I haven't gotten a single comment card saying I was over on my money. It was mushy bacon. I don't know what it is.
That the judges have to understand the texture difference between the bacon, the tubes, the money, the pull, all of those.
And they
they
don't.
have different textures.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're looking for, then it can seem like it might be overcooked or it might be tough or whatever, but it's not. It's right for that piece of particular meat.
Right. So you have to be smart. You have to adjust for what's going on right now. And like I said, I've turned in some boxes. Well, I've hit pork once this year, and then all the other times I was like, man, this is just as good as I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I just got blasted, and I was like, holy shit, I don't know. I can't make it any better.
The weird same boat, man. Like, and maybe down here in Oklahoma, they're only getting money muscles tomorrow. But
I don't know down here. So I haven't cooked down here,
Yeah.
and I will never pretend I know what they want down here because I've never done worth a shit down here except for one
We
time.
turned
So-
in money muscles only last year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, that's what we just did what we normally do.
yeah.
But
Interesting.
and Drew,
Razor X.
yeah, he did the same thing. I mean, we didn't change anything up. No burn it. We never do burn
I never
ends.
do them either.
I
But
just once again, I also think it's a preference. So some judges like them, some of them don't. Some of them don't like the texture. The texture between a prime and a Wagyu or an A9 are all going to be drastically different. And before I started Comp Barbecue, I couldn't have told you that, but I could tell you which chew I liked better.
yeah,
Which I do tend to lean toward. I like prime burn ends better.
Yeah.
But we cook Wagyu, but we don't turn those in.
Yeah.
So
Who does the pork for y'all? Is it still?
Do y'all do
Is
a-
every meat a joint affair?
no, it's
Oh.
a freaking what is the word I'm looking for?
It's
Monarch or
What's the word that there's a word that describes it's a dictatorship.
a dictatorship. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I have a great team. We all have our roles and responsibilities. But when it comes down to like the end of the day, which is probably why I bear the most of it, is it's me that's putting that meat in the box.
Right.
I do make them taste everything and do take their feedback into consideration when I'm putting things together. And they do their best to keep me honest. But I do, it's when it comes down to it, it's
How many contests have y'all done together?
total 65.
Oh, good, cool.
Yeah.
So you got a rhythm. You're in a rhythm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understand where you're supposed to be and what you're doing.
Now, do you guys all is this typical that it's at least 3 of you, sometimes 4 of you, then that come out, or is it just who can come out whenever?
Well,
So this year, I think we've had our full team twice.
this will be the third
This
time
will
that
be the
we've
third
had a
time
full
our full
team.
team has been there.
Okay.
Several of us have aging parents that we've had to go deal with and have missed contests for. So it's been we have not been, and I think that might be some of our
Like the cohesiveness.
I mean, we're cohesive, and when we're here,
Right,
we're here.
right.
But it's just, we change up a little thing
Yeah.
here and there, and not everybody's quite there for it.
Right.
And so we, every time, because I'm actually a vegetarian that's on a barbecue team, which is kind of hilarious.
I've heard of it. It's not the first time.
No, but
That's how I know the food's good because she chased all the pork.
Yeah.
And if
and I
she's
do
eating
like,
more
if
than a
I
bite,
do like it,
Yeah.
then it's good. But just those little tweaks is like if something happens and it's this year's. I feel like we had a good rhythm starting, and then our teams, because we haven't all been here all the time, has kind of we always tend to have a little mid-year slump or mid-season slump.
Right.
But this mid-season seems to be really long.
It's dragging, isn't it? Yeah.
And
It'll come.
it'll come.
It'll come.
And then we usually finish strong. I mean, so hopefully this is the start of our finishing strong.
Got to keep plugging away.
yeah.
Well, and you guys also do, or I've seen, I'm on all kinds of barbecue store emails and stuff. You guys do classes or
Yeah.
demos or
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff too. So talk about some of that kind of stuff that y'all do.
So we've got some great partners in barbecue, right? Smokestack Barbecue Supply Store. I believe they stopped by your store, Greg, this week. Said hi.
Oh,
Alan,
yeah,
Corey,
yeah.
those guys.
Alan and
Alan,
yeah, Wrecking Crew. Alan's a great guy. I didn't get to see him. Devin and him are pretty tight.
Yeah.
They talked for a while, so yeah.
But he runs the store up there, and Corey's the owner. And Corey, after a contest, asked me if I come and give a turkey class up there, and then that turned into him sponsoring the team. And then, so as part of that sponsorship, I go back and teach that community that's like 2 hours away from my house up in Brainerd about barbecue, right? So we do. I did like a 4-meat series, but geared towards the backyard cook last year. I did a brisket pastrami I don't know why that's what they wanted me to do, so that's what I did, right? For around
That's
St.
big on
Patty's Day.
social media thing. So everybody, I saw it, a lot of people were
I think
interested
I
in
started it, and then the rest of them.
I'm sure that's
that.
what.
I am sure that's exactly what happened.
And then so after the season's over, we'll get back up there and we'll teach more classes. But I think my passion, as much as I enjoy the competition, I think I enjoy teaching people about barbecue more because I still get people coming back asking
Yes.
questions and those things, or they get like really excited about something they put together because of the techniques that I've taught them. And
There's a gratefulness
yeah.
to what they've learned and they could capture from you.
Yeah.
The judges don't give us that.
I think that's probably what it
And
is.
then maybe
right?
if we had more in-person kind of
Well, and
feedback,
to know
maybe
that
it
you've
would.
touched their lives in that way, and then so many of because I totally 100% agree. Me being a teacher, that kind of lends itself too. But I love seeing the pictures of the kids with barbecue smeared all over their face, and they're like, "It's my kids approve," or "They love your sauce," or "They love the ribs. Thank you so much for we haven't had this good of a family dinner in years." Like when you hear stuff like that, like it literally gives me goosebumps.
It's
and bringing
awesome.
people together is what it's all about.
Might need to try and get him down to the store, I guess.
I think you probably
Have
should.
you do something for
Hey, I'm
the off season.
I'm a free agent, baby. Let's
You're
go.
a free agent. I hear you.
I'll go anyway, but no, I just enjoy that, right? And that's why I started the YouTube channel too, is because I feel like one, there's a ton of people out there cooking barbecue stuff,
Right.
but I don't feel like they offer the full picture. So
Right.
my channel has a little bit of a different vibe, which is why it takes me so long to edit things, is because I really want them to see the details. It's hard to capture all of that on video, but I try and do the best job that I can, right? And, so I've found that passion through barbecue, and I enjoy it, man. It's
Now,
That's cool.
on your YouTube channel, is it just Machete Boys BBQ?
Machete Boys BBQ. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
No Twitter, no TikTok.
Yeah.
No TikTok.
No TikTok. No TikTok.
No TikTok. There'll be no dancing.
There'll be no dance.
I always do a disclaimer.
Brad is going to make
Brad-
you do a dance this
Brad
weekend.
runs our TikTok account. I don't have TikTok, so what
that's
post
funny.
on TikTok is all Brad.
You're not responsible for them?
Not responsible at all.
I hear you.
I'll do
y'all-
Instagram and Facebook.
Do y'all have a favorite contest? What's your favorite one? What do you like to go to and you really enjoy, you look forward to every year?
My favorite one was just 2 weeks ago, KTD. That's the first one. It's in southern Minnesota. That's where we got our first RGC. And every time we go back there, the love is just always there. It's a good contest.
KTD, what's the name of that
King
one?
Turkey Days.
King Turkey Days.
King
okay.
Turkey Days.
Now, is that downtown? What's the setting? Where are you at?
So it used to be downtown, and it used to be the same weekend as the Royal before they changed the weekend like three
Oh,
times. So it was always a smaller contest, but it always aligned with they have turkey races that weekend. Like really, it's like the street we're on right now, except for at the end of the contest, they are running turkeys down the road racing against each other. So it was just a cool vibe, man. And we got to know the locals and people that we saw back then when we first started still come out to say hi and check on us and see how we're
There's a
doing.
place in Arkansas I know. I got a good friend that's from there.
Yeah.
Might be named Yellville. Yellville.
Yellville. Yellville.
Dude, they have a thing in November or October called Turkey Drop. And they literally used to drop turkeys out of a helicopter. There's no shit. They fly a helicopter over downtown. And it's kind of like their bushwhacker days or some kind of days, right?
Like some kind of festival.
Some kind of festival that they have, and they call it Turkey Drop. And literally they drop turkeys out of the sky, and the kids and everybody go chasing, and you go catch your turkey. And it's a small
That's
town.
not an
and-
easy thing to do.
Small town in Arkansas. And of course, PETA and them got them for a little while. And they dropped frozen turkeys off a building. That didn't go over well.
That's a little more dangerous.
I heard they after COVID, they threw
stopped
their
it?
fingers up. No, they threw their fingers up and did it anyway.
Yeah.
And
Screw
so
it,
what
why
the
not?
hell and why not? So
Why not?
That's pretty cool. You guys got
what is
a
y'all's
special
favorite?
contest that you?
Let's see. My favorite is probably, I would say Hill City.
Hill
Been
City.
over- That's where we got our first GC. I also am partial to Minnesota MA, which is our big Minnesota contest.
Travis Duffy's been trying to get us to come out to Hill City real bad. Says
Do it,
it's a whole lot
man.
of fun. And I've never been that way, and I
so
really
now
want to
what's
get
the
out that way.
setting for Hill City? Where is that?
It's at
like the
Mount
Black Hills,
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's between all the monuments. So I mean,
Yeah.
you're like 5 minutes from all of them.
yeah,
Is it
it's-
during a cold time of year?
No.
No, it's
No.
in
Oh,
summer.
Greg,
It's
we should
coming up in a
go.
couple
No, we should go.
We should
It's in a
go
couple.
there.
No, we
They
100%.
need teams.
They
They're
need
only
teams.
at 11
Oh,
right
do
now.
they really?
So
It's in like 4 or 5 weeks.
yeah, you
Yeah,
got
it's
about
coming
4 or
up pretty
5
soon.
weeks, but you should go.
Is it September?
How long of a
October,
drive?
August
for
from
us?
here?
From-
It's the end of August, right?
I don't know.
Well, you just
No,
drove it.
it's
Yeah, we drove
That's
to Minnesota.
8 hours from us.
It's 11. It's 11 hours.
Oh,
No, it's 11 and a half. It's a long drive.
okay.
A little bit of a ride.
School's back in, so but they're really good as long as I
Just
make
take
sure I
some
have a
time
sub
off.
Yeah.
and don't leave them hanging. So I've just told them I'm gonna still teach, but y'all
Yeah.
got to be flexible.
It's the thing that I think the contests in general that I love are the ones that have something else going on besides
Yeah.
barbecue. Like this one,
This
I'm looking
one's
forward to.
really
It's gonna
fun.
be
It was awesome. The community is so supportive here.
Yeah.
Shannon does an awesome job of the organizing it and putting it all on. The community comes out and supports in full force. You even get to meet some of the
Local celebrities.
they bring
the
in
mayor.
the mayor, the dean of the college comes out.
Oh, yeah,
but you've
yeah.
also got
Yeah.
I don't know the proper your tribal elder leaders and different
okay.
ones come out. I don't know. I don't know their
Think we
type.
can get some free buffalo bucks back at the casino again?
I want to put that in my pork butt. I want to turn it in my
So,
pork box. They can't tell the difference anyway.
Right?
Yeah, right. Well,
Those-
it's really fun, and they have been so gracious. Like they're providing breakfast for all the teams tomorrow, just because certain ones reached out and just said, "Hey, are you going to have a breakfast that the teams can pay for here?" And he was like, "I'll have you breakfast, but you don't have to pay for it." Like that's
that's
just
awesome.
something he didn't have to do, and that's just how he is. And very thankful for getting the competition up to 30 teams and all that. So it's just been, I don't know. The last year was great. This year has so far everything's been good. I know we just got here, but
Yeah.
so
Greg, what's you guys' favorite comps?
I don't know. American Royal is always one,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's kind of a given. It's and we've been, this is, I think, will be our 9th year straight. So the American Royal is just always something that's always super special, and we're always going to go. And we're very fortunate. It's close to home, right?
Yeah.
Excelsior Springs, barbecue fly on the river, Excelsior Springs, Jim McCullough and Lindsay
Yep.
have always done a great job. That's one we always tend to not miss. And then for sure, and I think you might have been there this year. I know you've been there in the past, Smoke in the Spring.
Oh yeah.
Osage City, Kansas.
Yeah. I saw you dancing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Did you see me dancing?
Oh, I saw the
Yeah, it
whole
wasn't
thing.
me. I don't know who that was. No, we were dancing. That was Tara got us kind of
Tara
funky
got you.
there
Tara
in
got
the
you
wars, didn't
dancing.
he? Yeah.
Tara
sure.
got you. Her energy is so infectious, so
Yeah.
you can't not.
That's always a fun one, and Corey does a great job. And
Yeah,
then
man.
where
Corey's
do you go
awesome.
where you can get in a town of 2,500 people and have 103 teams at a contest? I mean, it's insane what he's able to do there for 20 years, and so it's a great contest we never miss.
Yeah.
I don't get to compete in one. I'll just shamelessly plug it. BBQ, this will be our 3rd year running it. It's Halloween weekend. It's last
fun.
weekend Team of the Year chase. It's one I put on. Bree helps and others, and we'll have. It's a double master. It's a double backyard now. We'll do 2 individual meets, and it's Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
So we have a trunk or treat on Saturday for the kids, and we're
Potluck
gonna get Oak Grove to do some public things. They want to. I just don't have time to help them plan it. They need to be able to do that, and I'm gonna get them to try to do it. But we're talking about hay rides and bands and stuff. It's out on an old retired golf course that they bought the land and put in an aqua center.
Yeah.
We have this massive, huge outbuildings.
Phenomenal.
We put on a potluck Friday night because it's end of the year. Everybody's tired. And we all just kind of want to relax and sit together. It's the last year to catch points if you're chasing points. The last weekend. So instead of people having to run to North Carolina, they come to BBQ. And our first year we had 7 world champions there. It's still a relatively small contest, 42 teams, 17 backyard. And we had so much fun. We invite everybody, including judges, to the potluck. We all bring in food, and it's just a super chill period. And it's becoming a nice place to finish the season. So, and I'm proud of that. And it's really a cook-centric deal, right?
Yeah.
We provide breakfast, and there's no frills. There's no nothing. Just show up and cook. It's for cook.
You can buy t-shirts.
You can buy t-shirts.
Yeah.
There's no frills. I wouldn't do that if I didn't have to.
The trophies.
People ask me for
let's just talk about the trophies. So
I've seen the trophies.
Travis makes the trophies.
Have you seen the pumpkins?
Oh, man.
And the skulls.
And this year,
man.
he is supposedly going even more over. Every year he tries.
Is it really?
He's told me some plans that he has for the GC.
He ain't told me what the budget is. I ain't told him what the budget is.
Well, he said, "This is my idea. We'll see what Greg thinks." But
I'll do it because he kills it. Travis
oh my
is just
God,
phenomenal.
it's phenomenal.
I shared a post yesterday. Sorry, I shared a post yesterday. 2020, we put together a last-minute contest. Travis did it at his parents' house.
Yeah.
It's something we called Farm Stock 2020. There's 21 of the best teams around that were cooking in 2020. There wasn't much of us in middle of July in a hayfield, and it was hot as balls. I mean, it was just terrible. It was miserable. And we're all out in this field, and we RGC'd it. But Travis made these trophies that Aaron gave him the wood. What did he call it? It's great big lumber wood that they cut into these big boards, bases.
Yeah.
And then he went and bought these old, like 55 Chevy trucks, right? They're toy trucks. They're about this big, and they look antique, like antique trucks. He mounted them on these boards, put a sign up that was engraved. It said farm stock, and he had hay bales in it. And
oh, man.
So I shared
all
this
out.
memory on Facebook from 2020 on my Facebook yesterday because it popped up, and it was me and Randy from High IQ with our trophies, and they're in my store, and really some of the coolest trophies in the world. So Travis always comes and helps us with BBQ. He cooks breakfast for us with his dad, and he does the trophies for us. And when we decided to do pumpkins for Halloween, I raised money for a cancer charity. We raised money for a veteran first responder organization as well. So we split up the contest, divide the money to 2 charities. And Travis makes these, and he found these pumpkins, and I saw them, and I went, and they're just kind of porcelain glass pumpkins. And I went, man, maybe we can become the new Apple, the new Murfreesboro Apple, right?
Oh,
so now everybody's like, we want a pumpkin. We got to have a pumpkin. They're there.
And then you can't overlook the skeletons.
Yeah.
Oh, those were awesome. So there were skeletons mixed in this year, and I'm like, oh, I got a pumpkin. I want a skeleton.
So that's so like 3 through 10 are all pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
And day 1 will be a Halloween theme, will be pumpkins. And day 2 would be a skeleton skull dog tag theme for the veterans. And this year we had Day of the Dead type skeletons, 1 through 3.
So cool.
They were bad.
And then we had the glass,
The pumpkins.
bourbon skulls for 3 through 10 and whatever. So he'll do something different. We told him we always, besides the core pumpkins, we always want to kind of keep it different. And, but he does a great job at it. So if you can get away, Alan came down.
Yeah, Alan.
Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
He came down with his ice fishing rig. I never seen nothing like this. He has this trailer, it's a flat trailer, And I'm like, what is this? And it drops flat on the ground. He goes, come on in here. And I'm ducking in and going on in. He has a tent popped around it.
Yeah.
And it's an ice fishing trailer.
Yeah.
That just drops down on the ice and
Yeah.
you pull out holes in the floor.
Yeah.
Drill some holes, and I'm
You
like,
guys never been
no,
ice fishing?
shit,
No.
we needed it. So there was an old
No.
contest.
Minnesota.
There was an
I'll
old
make you a deal.
contest.
I'll make you a deal. We'll come to BBQ, and then we'll get you up in February to Minnesota to go ice fishing.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My
I would do it
birthday's in
heartbeat,
February.
What day?
February 11th.
Let's make it
Mine's
the end of
the 8th.
February. Well, it's
Oh,
probably
Man, that's
nicer.
why we like each
Yeah,
other so
that's
much.
right.
Oh,
We're both
man.
Aquarians.
Yeah, you see the looks, right?
Oh, no.
They're like, oh, great.
Like, oh, shit. You guys ice fish too?
I do.
Do you really?
Okay, but we got to be warm. I'm sorry, I don't do cold. Like, this is as far north as this Texas girl goes. So, like, it gets cold here in the winter for me.
It's gonna be cold when you get out of the truck to get into the ice house.
Okay, but then it's warm.
I mean, it could be
Okay.
100,000 degrees in there. You get it hot enough,
Fantastic.
and
All
you
right,
get
then
enough
we
gas
good.
to
Yeah,
keep
you
I
haven't
love
seen
to
it. They
fish.
literally light fires on the ice, which I
Well, I don't know.
question
I've seen
driving
it
a
on
truck out on the
TV,
ice
but-
and lighting a fire. And
Hey man,
I've
you get
seen
it done.
grumpier old men. That's my extent of ice fishing. So I don't know. That's about it.
oh my god!
It's evolved a little bit since then.
A little bit.
So
It's a
fire and
bubble.
ice is gone, right?
It is, but you know, every year I hear rumors about it's coming back.
Because I've always heard that's kind of a cool one.
It was Tony Corehouse ran that contest, and he did a phenomenal job with it. And I've always heard rumors about it coming back, but I don't think they've got it back together yet. But you know, we can cook barbecue on the ice if you want, or we could just get together and just go fish. and
I
have
just
fun.
soon fish.
Well,
yeah.
let's just fish, and then we can cook.
I
what we
can tell you right
catch.
now, I cooked barbecue in the middle of January in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sucked. It was cold.
I saw pictures
and
of
it,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did okay, but
We were watching from the warmth of our couch.
she's texted me.
Yeah.
She says the other day, she goes, I asked questions and I text you all, and the responses I got were pretty rude and pretty. And I went, well, I
He's
mean,
like, I haven't thought out in 2 days.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You know
bad.
what's funny? I think that contests like that give us an advantage because
Yeah.
the only time I have to practice is in the winter. So
Yeah.
it's negative 30
Yeah.
degrees. I've got my canopy up on the back, lighting the drum, man, trying to figure out what I can improve on. So
But like we cook in the winter, we cook year round, but it's the grill's right outside the house, and then you come back into the warmth of the house. It's not this setup where you're exposed more to the elements. So
Oh,
maybe
you just
that's
gotta
where
get
we're
some
missing
heavy
it.
suit on. We'll get you ice fishing suit and some boots. You'll be all right.
Give me a who's your barbecue mentor? Someone that's inspired you on this path you're on. What's brought you here?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I just wanted to beat Jeff Vanderlinde and Darren Worth because I saw them on barbecue pit
Oh, hey,
masters.
that's the right thing too.
Yeah.
You can't beat two better people for sure.
Yeah, I mean they're great people in general,
Yep.
but even better contenders. I think Darren Worth's on a hot streak right now. He's won
Yeah.
every contest he's cooked recently, right? I think from a mentor's perspective, you know, we haven't really had a mentor that's kind of like sat with us and held our hand. We've kind of figured out a lot on our own. We've taken a lot of classes, and you know, we've met some great people that have just, you know, if we've got questions, they'll answer them. Chris Schaefer, Brad Leiniger, you know,
For
the list
sure.
goes on. This community is absolutely great, but
Sure.
I haven't had anybody that's been like holding my hand or holding their hand or telling us, you know, you're screwing this up. You need to do something different. We've just had to figure it out.
You taken some classes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot and Fast.
Hot and Fast. That's
Hot
a
and
good
Fast,
class.
Brad. They do an awesome job. I went to 1-2 barbecues class this off season, and that was an awesome class too as well. And then Fergalicious and Chris did a class together, and we took that one. So those are the only ones I've taken. But yeah, so.
Sounds good.
Well, so another question we kind of like to ask towards the end of the show is, so outside of barbecue, what is something that you guys enjoy cooking at home? It doesn't have to be on a grill. It could be whatever. Like, what is your thing? What do you excites you about cooking at home?
I'll let them go first.
Now he lets y'all go first. That means he needs a second to think.
You know, I like to cook anything, and I love to experiment. Cooking is like my favorite thing to do. It's relaxing, and now that we're in a multi-generational house again, I have a house full to cook for.
Right.
Because cooking for two is really tough.
Yeah.
And so, and I personally, I grew up in Atlanta, and so we cooked outside year round.
Right,
And my
yeah.
dad, when we moved back to Minnesota, we cooked year round outside. The grill was outside in the garage. We'd pull it out in the driveway. We'd cook. We'd put it back in. we'd stand out there and freeze. And so anything I can do outside on a grill or a smoker, is fun. I mean, we love to experiment. We do a lot of breakfast on our
Right.
smoker.
Fun.
Because we like breakfast, and we'll do it for either breakfast or for dinner or brunch or
Did
whatever.
you get into griddle cooking yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do that for to me. That's the best
I-
breakfast
a
if I
big,
can do it.
big,
Yeah.
huge. I mean, I
Yeah.
probably should have been at a restaurant at some point in my life. 'Cause
Right.
I love the big spatula and the
Yeah.
Banging it around. Yeah. We've
Makes
all
you feel like you're at the
we,
hibachi plate.
yeah, we've all become hibachi cooks by now.
Oh, some of us worse than others. But I won't mention any names. I think for me, again, that's one similarity we have across this team is we all enjoy cooking, and we all have a passion for it, whether it's inside or outside. I think for me, recently, it's been a lot of Indian food. I've been experimenting with a lot of curries. And it started because I did this video on my YouTube channel with Bira. And then I started like researching curries, and I realized that curry is a lot similar to Bira. So somewhere along our ancestral lines, before we got spread out, you know, there was that style of cooking was similar, but it's just a different set of spices, right? So I'm a student of like different cultures and how they cook and figuring those things out, and I really enjoy that. But I make it pretty good. Well, you've had the butter chicken was pretty good. That's pretty good. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Butter
what else we
chicken?
got. Butter chicken.
You
It's
didn't
an
put no
Indian dish.
damn peanut butter and onions on it, did you?
No.
Yeah.
What's
Why?
wrong with you?
Well, exactly. That's what I said. Why would anybody put peanut butter and onions on
mean,
a chicken?
Chicken satay.
Chicken satay is
that is a
it's butter.
a dry.
It's peanut butter.
Yeah, it's peanut butter and like your dried onion soup mix.
yeah.
It's really good.
That's
It's
you
really
got to try
good.
that. That's a different ball
different
game.
thing.
though.
Oh, I know.
When you grill it like
I'll grill
the
it
peanut
for
butter.
you.
There you go. There you
Well,
go.
I got you, Greg.
Yeah. You got to try. Are you
I
a
made
mac
fun
and
of it
cheese
on.
guy?
I made no. I mean, yeah, I like mac and cheese for sure.
Who
Hell
doesn't
yeah.
like mac and
I'm
cheese?
just trying
Come
to see
on.
if his palate's like a 5-year-old or not. Like mac
Pretty
and
much.
cheese, chicken
Pizza,
nuggets.
Nothing-
frozen
nothing
pizza.
green.
That's what Becky said. We asked this question. Somebody asked me on the first
Yeah.
podcast. Well, Greg, what do you like to cook? Becky hollers from the side. Frozen pizza. I'm like, seriously, I'm at the store 7 days a week. I just don't get to cook anymore, and we need to cook more in the store. So I do a lot of steak, and we do a lot of stuff like that. But yeah. No, I'm a 5-year-old. If I could get Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms every morning, and then
You know, next time I got Hazel. Hazel's going to be at Accessory Springs. I'm going to send her your trailer for
cool.
breakfast.
You're coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't bring it.
Awesome.
I'm diabetic. I'm not allowed to have it. I've been watched so much. I can't have my Lucky Charms. I'm pretty grumpy in the morning. So
Come after.
come after. Come anyway. I'll probably have.
So now, what do you like to cook? We haven't heard. What are some things you like?
Oh, I was gonna say it. Like I do lately. I've been doing,
leftovers at my house.
well, I was gonna say I've been doing a lot of takeout, giving some family stuff, but and frozen pizzas.
Right.
But yeah, I like cooking Italian food. But yeah, most of the time I try to go to their houses so I don't have to cook.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you do your own pastas?
Yeah,
Good. Cool. Do you like that?
I do.
So that's something we had that come up in a podcast earlier. A friend of ours said, "Man, I love to make my own pasta." I know Susie Bullock has talked about it. We've talked to her.
I've
and-
never done it. I want to do
And
it.
we've never
really
done
bad.
it. And I love Italian food. I'm not allowed to eat it, but I love Italian food.
What are you allowed to eat?
Not much.
Like
really.
green beans?
But ask him what he eats.
I do it anyway.
We already.
He might not be allowed.
I mean, I have a
We're
whole list
supposed
of
to.
you can't, and
a whole thing of I love.
I have a whole list of I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. So
Good for you.
at some
man.
point, I got to do it. But yeah, no, Josh from JDQ,
Yeah.
DeWitt, said he loves to make steak stroganoff, and I kind of never really heard that, but he makes his own pasta when he does it. And,
Yeah.
and we thought, man, we need to do that at a store one time. And
I've done
Just
brisket
make pasta.
stroganoff. That's really good.
Yeah, these are-
Stroganoff
you're
with the leftover briskets.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just some other way of being creative besides, I mean, you can only eat so many brisket nachos and brisket burritos and
Yeah, but the internet loves that stuff, man.
I know.
I swear, the most likes I get on anything is if it's got something to do with brisket. Squeeze a brisket, the internet will blow up.
I
know
don't
why. It's
understand
the
that. I'm like,
stupidest
why do
thing
you
ever.
want me to squeeze all the juices out of this? Like,
Hey, I did it
don't-
anyway.
Yeah.
I needed the likes.
Hey,
I don't know why.
no judgment. No judgment.
I needed the likes.
Be like, the more you like, the more I squeeze, baby. Come on.
I think that's probably. Jeez. Oh my God.
But you know, yeah. So I just try to come up with different ways to use stuff. I'm a big, you're talking about the curry seasonings
Yeah.
and stuff. I love Thai and Asian and that whole flair. I want to get more into cooking that. But something we've done with like our ground pork is, this is as adventurous as I've gotten so far, is to make like egg rolls, the pork egg rolls
Have you had Vanderlindy's egg rolls at the American Roll?
Yes.
No.
They're insane
No,
good.
how did
You
I,
have?
how
Oh,
did I
my
miss
God.
that?
Because you missed the pork tenderloin day
Oh,
because
I
you all
did.
weren't there.
No, we were there.
You missed the cheese
No.
curds, the pork tenderloin,
I
the
missed-
onion
I
rings,
missed that
and the
because
egg
Brad's
rolls.
Those
sister,
guys
who was
throw down.
cooking
They throw
dessert for us,
down.
was loading in, and we were trying to help her get in. And then we went to go over there, and they were all out. I was like, sad day.
You got to be there. You got to
Christy
be in
does
line.
not need to show up at this time next year. So
Yeah,
You got to
We've
be
already
there and you
told
got to
her.
be in line. That is probably one of the reasons I love the Royal, right? I mean, it's Thursday
I got
night with
everything
Snake River
I got
Farms,
that.
and then the Blues Hog shenanigans,
Yeah.
and
that was last year was our first year there, and
That was
like
so-
we didn't
ours
know what to
too.
expect. So it was
Yeah.
like we had
my
a
head was
blast.
on like
Yeah.
a swivel. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, look at all this. This
Yeah,
is
like
so cool.
a kid figure I gotta miss something. You
I know.
There's so much
well,
to
you
gain.
do, and so I know a lot of people who come in town for it. They have a list. I've got to be here. I've got to be here. I've got to be here. And I try it. And
I put it on my phone. I'm like, everybody's like, well, what
On
time
my
is this?
phone.
I'm like, let me check my
That's what I
calendar.
did.
It's right here.
And I
That's
tried
what I do,
that.
and then he's like, "Where are we going?"
Yeah.
And then
Where am I
they made
supposed to be?
fun of me, but yet who did they ask when they didn't know when to be somewhere? Right here.
Exactly.
And I tried that, and I never do it. I even miss picking up my turkey and shit. I mean, I can't
I'm like,
ever.
come on, Greg, we got to go do this. And he's like, oh yeah, you guys are a new team, and this is kind of fun. I haven't done all
You
this
know
stuff
what we
in
do? We
years.
just sit in the shade.
I'm like, come on.
We wait for the food. We wait for Darren and them to fire it up, and no, it's good times. You guys coming back this year, or you?
You bet, man. I get
Yeah.
to cook on Saturday this year.
Do?
Yeah,
Good
baby.
for you. There you
Yeah,
go.
us
I'm not.
too. Us too. Woo.
Yeah.
I don't know about those ancillaries.
No, I'm not messing with any
I
of
was
that.
like,
If you don't have the crew to do it, it's hard. I tell people all the time, you ought to do it, because getting your feet dirty at the Royal is something special. It doesn't matter whether it's in a side or
Yeah.
not, but it's a hard.
we did the
It's a
sides
hard
last year,
gig.
but we didn't cook the invitational. So afterward, I'm like, how the hell do people that are in the invitational do this?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
just Brad and I, and then his sister Christy did dessert.
Yeah.
But in all the extra stuff that you have to take, I'm like, it looked like we had stuff thrown up all over the RV and the trailer and it's stuff we don't normally have.
Yeah.
Like, it was driving me crazy.
I can see how that would
And then
happen.
it had to all go into the RV because I couldn't cook like that for the open. I'm like, this got to get out of the trailer. It's not in our barbecue trailer. I don't need fondue or heavy whipping cream out here in the trailer.
Hey, slip a little bit of that in your chicken.
Hey, there you go.
Dare
you might
to-
be onto
I
something.
dare you to put peanut butter and onion soup on your chicken at the Royal. Do it.
Well,
I dare
maybe
you.
I'll put chocolate.
And some sweet potatoes on it.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Mix it together, see what they think. See if I get that
Cool.
comment.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They probably,
Hey guys, this has been a whole lot of fun. This is
Absolutely. Thanks
really
for having
cool.
us.
I appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us. And
Yeah,
we've
thank
met a
y'all.
few times, I know, on the trail, and it's good to sit down and chat with you. I didn't get to meet the other 2/3 of the
Two-thirds, yeah.
team. Hey,
something like that.
ring
Quarter.
out your YouTube. Tell us about that real quick, and
Yeah.
your stuff where they can find you. I know you're kind of shooting this as well, so
I am.
hopefully your camera lasted, because both mine died
No,
because of the heat.
it's powering off. So
Yeah.
that means it did that to me last week,
it's
too.
just shutting down.
Yeah.
So I will guarantee you, I have batteries. Both mine went out, and I will tell you it's heat.
Yeah.
It'll say it got too hot. So,
Absolutely.
irritates the hell out of me.
Too crazy, right?
I know.
You
yeah.
think they figured that stuff
Check
out?
that.
I even
Well, it's
have,
a GoPro. It's meant to be outside.
I
What
have
are
the
you gonna do?
Enduro batteries in mine, so they last a little bit longer in the heat, but it's
Right.
an investment. You got to get them. But you can catch us at Machete Boys BBQ, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We're always streaming awards on Facebook if you guys are out there watching and you want to see
Yeah.
what's happening there.
Cool.
And then this will be part of a series that I'm putting together that shows what it's like at a competition from a competitor standpoint.
Cool.
So
Where are you at next? After MiaMA,
we're going
what's
to take
up?
a week off, and then we're going to head to the Invitational, the World Invitational.
And then Excelsior Springs,
and then
right?
Excelsior Springs, and then Hill City. So we're going to be down
So
here.
is Hill City the week after Excelsior Springs?
You bet. Yes, sir.
Are we doing 11 hours? Or are we going to Excelsior Springs?
I think you should
I
do
think
it.
you should.
I think you should do it.
I'm supposed to.
It's-
We're supposed to be teaching a class at your store. we
Oh,
can't
we never
cancel.
started promoting that.
We
Yeah, so
still
it's
got
not
a
like-
month away.
No,
I'm
you
like,
don't. You got 3 weeks.
3
We might
weeks.
have to figure this out. Let's teach a class in Hill City. We'll do it. We'll do it remotely. We'll have people come in the store and we'll do it remotely.
You know what? Why don't we could do a live class where you're remote and you could just
Yeah.
charge them $25 and just we
come
could
sit
stream
in
it.
there and we'll do it remote. We'll be all right.
We'll figure
I can
it
help
out.
you figure it
We
out.
could be onto something new.
We could.
Virtual. We'll have Devin just follow all the instructions and then feed the people, and then
Okay, now
think that'll
Devin,
work?
your Vanna White will come through with your platter.
yeah,
Here's,
right.
try this.
Yeah, right. No, that'd be fun.
very cool,
Well, good
guys. You
luck
got
out there
anything
this
else?
Weekend.
No, man. You guys, good luck this weekend.
Cool.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us. We'll
Thank
check you
you,
next
thank
time.
you.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Good luck. Good luck this weekend, guys. We really appreciate you joining our show. Hey, this is Greg and Bree Vi, and we got Machete Boys that's been with us for the last 40 minutes. We really appreciate it. We're out. Moving on to the next one. Take care, everybody. Thanks.